Good morning. This morning I was going to talk about the effects of us going into other countries in wars and having no exit plans, i.e. the migrants in Italy, where they were coming to Italy from Libya, and the drownings that we've seen over the last weekend. However, given the clips and news bites that I've seen this morning about the SNP, I think it's probably important that we talk about the SNP, which is kind of funny because I didn't think we would do. Obviously the SNP fought a very valiant and big campaign to get a referendum in Scotland, whether the people of Scotland wanted to stay in Scotland or leave. And that went on for a number of years, and they did a great job in getting that conversation and getting that referendum. Now, for myself, once the people then had that referendum and decided to stay in the UK, I didn't see what purpose the SNP had, to be quite fair, because, you know, the people had decided. Now they seem hell-bent on just making life hell for the rest of us in England by saying that they'll prop up a Labour government in Westminster on the basis that they scrap Trident, which is our nuclear defence, which I'm strongly backing that we keep Trident because we need a nuclear deterrent. But what the SNP are saying is that basically if the Labour doesn't scrap Trident, then they'll keep blocking the Armed Forces defence budget, which will absolutely decimate our armed forces and reduce their capability. We can't be held to account on defence by the SNP or anybody else for that matter. Defence is fundamentally the main purpose of a government, and the first priority of any government is to defend the people and the land. So for the SNP to now have this tactic just proves to me that all they want to do is they lost a referendum, but they want to get their own way no matter which way they want it. Now, why does this come in relevance in Wigan? Well, the Labour candidate Lisa Nandy has openly said on Radio Live 5 Live that she would have the conversation, and they need to have the conversation with the SNP to do deals. Well, anybody that wants to do deals with people that want to get rid of our nuclear deterrent, that want to hold our armed forces to account and scrap the budget until they get their way, are people that are just sulking. And they're not people that are leaders or people that should be in power. They're actually people that should just be left on the playground for me. For Lisa Nandy to come out and back the SNP and to say that she would have the conversation just shows that Labour will do anything to keep in power. In Wigan, what we need is somebody to fight for Wigan, not to keep themselves in power or in Westminster. That's why I'm fighting for the Wigan seat and constituency, because the Wigan people need somebody that loves and cares about Wigan and the people of Wigan, not somebody that's just hell-bent on getting in power no matter what and just using them as a tool to keep them in that way. For myself, when they had the referendum, maybe the people of England should have also joined in the referendum and let Scotland go, because the SNP are just, like I said, hell-bent in making sure they cause chaos until they get what they want. The people of Scotland need to decide whether they want to get rid of the SNP once and for all, but that's up to them to decide. I'm not telling them which way to vote. But if they start meddling, I don't want to be run by somebody in Scotland. And when you hear a new commentator saying there's talk now of any deal with Labour, Alex Salmond would be the Deputy Prime Minister. It just gets farcical now, this debate on coalition. If there is a coalition, excuse me, you're going to need to have a conversation, I get that. But you need to have a conversation with sensible people, and people that just won't be holding anybody to account and blackmailing them, certainly over things like defence, which is an important thing. That's why I'm asking for your vote on the 7th of May, because I believe the people of Wigan should have somebody working for them. Thank you.